Welcome to She Who Rises, the interview series where we shine a light on the bold, the brilliant, and the resilient women of ambitious ladies of London. I'm your host, Lorraine Quick, and together we'll explore the stories of women who are navigating life transitions, rediscovering their purpose, and redefining ambition. These conversations are casual, they're real and heartfelt, and they're designed to inspire you with wisdom, courage, and the reminder that we rise higher when we rise together. Today, I'm excited to welcome Fanny Kokocinska. She is an ICF, ACC coach, PCC trained through Barefoot Coaching, and Fanny integrates in her industry expertise with evidence-based tools to support professionals across all sectors. Fanny is fluent in English, French, and Polish, and she helps leaders and entrepreneurs build clarity, confidence, and sustainable inclusive growth with their businesses. In our conversation, we will explore her journey, the lessons she's learned along the way, and the inspiring messages she has for women everywhere. So let's get started. This is She Who Rises. Fanny, welcome. I'm just going to jump right in and ask you a question right off the bat. What
Yeah.
chapter of life are you in right now? What are you navigating? What are you embracing?
Hmm. So I've been thinking over that question a little bit, and I was really thinking about how to call it. And there isn't one word really that I can hold on to, but I would say that in a third part of my life. I've had sort of childhood, I've had my youth when I was a bit younger. Um, And I would say I'm in a phase of maturity. So I'm definitely still my adulthood, but I am a lot more mature. I am a lot more experienced. I know exactly what I want, what I don't want as well. And that's actually a really beautiful part of my life to be in. I think when you are a bit younger, sometimes you don't exactly know what you want. And then as you grow and you've got experiences, you then realize, okay, these are the things I want more in my life, and these are the things I want less. So I would sort of call it the mature adulthood chapter of my life.
And what's your biggest challenge in that phase? I'm curious.
So I think it's really embracing who you are,
Mhm.
as opposed to trying to, just fit in and also have follow kind of a blueprint, I think, which we might do when we're a bit younger. Not necessarily everybody, but I think, you kind of finish your studies and you finish, you kind of leave home, and then suddenly you're faced with big life decision, what work, what country you're going to live in, and all of that. And then you just kind of follow the crowd a little bit, and then everyone goes into different directions. After a few years everyone follows a different path, and so have I. And my path today has taken me to London, which is where I have lived for the last 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
I have a beautiful family, and a beautiful daughter. I've got 20 years of experience in the corporate sector. And I have now decided to, for the last 2 years, to really embrace the life of having my own business, being a businesswoman, controlling my own life and my own um, plan, and really embracing that. So, and it's really hard when you are an entrepreneur because you haven't got that blueprint, you haven't got that framework to follow, which I did for a number of years when I was in the corporate life. So I think it's ever more so important to really feel aligned with the actions that you are doing on a daily basis. So it actually fits within your, your entire kind of life and mission and purpose.
And speaking of purpose, do you think that over the course of the last couple of years, your purpose, your mission has evolved and changed, or has it always been the same? It,
No, it's definitely evolved and changed. I mean, I think in my earlier adulthood, I was probably more focused on my own, self-realization and happiness.
Mhm.
And I think as you go through experiences and you grow older, you realize that whatever you've learned, you can also pass it on to other people, and that can serve, your community, your society. And that's what I'm really today passionate about, to really share that knowledge, to really share my passion around D&I, so diversity, inclusion, and equity, which is basically what I'm trying to bring to organizations in through my coaching programs.
Okay.
And I think you sort of realize that this has been, kind of a teaching time for you to then be able to give back. And that's what I'm trying to do through that, my own company, giving back to people, but also growing that awareness and that knowledge within organizations around what diversity, equity, and inclusion should look like.
Okay. So it sounds like to me your work in the corporate world shaped you and created a message that you felt was really important, and that's the work you do now. That's your focus as an entrepreneur.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, 15 or 17 years of corporate life, especially in banking and finance, has definitely shaped me in a certain way.
Mhm.
But also through the experiences I've had in my career, it has shaped the message that I want to put back out there in society, starting with individuals and then organizations and then society by and large. So I'm really interested in that work now. Yeah.
And as you look at your career over your entire life, but especially right now as an entrepreneur, how has friendship played a role in any of that for you?
Yes, very big and actually very surprising as well, in certain ways. I think when you go from a very safe corporate environment where everyone is doing really well, where everyone is, getting the promotions and going on this extraordinary holidays, or you realize that you have a friendship, but it's very social. It's very much around sharing social outings and experiences. And then when you transition into entrepreneurship, is that friendship the um, the realization that that friendship is quite different. You are then relying on one another. You are, using your friends as bouncing off ideas with them,
Mhm.
finding some, moral support, and therefore it has actually shown sometimes the true value of certain friendships, which were maybe not actually real friendships. They were more social acquaintances. And actually, the friendships that, have helped me through that period have, really strengthened and blossomed. And now we actually together on a similar journey, or potentially not a similar journey, but really sharing experiences, supporting each other, championing each other, being the moral support of each other. And that has been huge help, because entrepreneurship can feel very lonely, as a lot of entrepreneurs know.
Yeah.
And you need to have those kind of champions and fans who will go, keep going. This is the right direction. What you're doing is great. just believe in yourself. And sometimes you just don't believe in yourself. So you need those friends and family and support networks. So yeah, it's been very crucial. And I can think of, a handful of friends that have been really part of this journey for me.
I think it always fascinates me and still surprises me that deep friendships become a byproduct of being an entrepreneur. Because you're absolutely right, we need the support, we need the sounding boards in our lives, and it just creates more intimacy with the friendships that we have or the new friendships that we make. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so as you have moved through your years as an entrepreneur, do you also feel that there has been shifts and changes in your love life, your role as a leader, in your confidence level? I mean, what experiences have you had that have transformed and changed you over the last
Mm.
years?
Yeah, so that's really interesting. I think being an entrepreneur, everyone says it is a roller coaster. It's really, it's not for the faint-hearted. You really got to, keep at it, hold on to every single, glimpse of hope. So it has definitely, changed the way I come across and I see as well leaders, whether it's in the corporate world or whether it's, entrepreneurs, true leaders, but also in my, love life as well. My partner has been a supporter of me going into entrepreneurship, and he's huge help around the house, which is also really important as well when you're an entrepreneur. So that
Mhm.
has helped me a lot, and that has given me the freedom as well to go and do things and meet people and go out there in the world. But in terms of the leadership posture, it's interesting because I think it's actually quite hard to judge for me yet what sort of, leader I am or I have become. Because I'm not leading huge teams of people, or I used to be in the corporate world, I used to have teams under me. So, but I think you do get feedback about what you really put out there, the energy and the inspiration. And I think that has also helped me, that sort of, feedback loop as well. So, yeah, not quite sure yet about that one, but I think, having the energy back is being actually quite nurturing as well.
Fantastic. And you're just a baby. I mean, I think you said it was 2 years that you've been
Yes,
running
yes.
a business for yourself. So
I am a baby in
you're a baby
entrepreneurship. Yes.
entrepreneur. Um, Let me ask you a question that I love asking every woman, and ask it all the time these days. How do you define ambition at this stage of your life?
Yeah, it's a great question, actually. I think, you would have brought me back a few years ago in the corporate world. Ambition would have been, just get the next promotion, get a big job, move abroad. I mean, whatever it meant really um, to go through the corporate ladder. But I think real ambition is, I think, first of all, rather than something being fluffy, it's ensuring that the the company you've got is giving you that sustainable living. That's really important. I think it's a crucial part to be passionate about what you're doing, but you need to make sure that you can sustain your life, you can sustain yourself, you can sustain your family,
Mhm.
because that is true freedom. And before saying, it's about freedom of what you're doing and when you're doing it, it's also ensuring that your business is successful enough that it actually is giving you that freedom to be able to spend the time with your family, to be able to take the holidays when it's needed or required, and you are not a slave to your companies. So Yeah, I think that's a really important distinction, and it has to really come from, and it's not going to come, the first year. You're not suddenly going to, make a huge amount of money. But also, the second thing to recognize is probably that it doesn't necessarily mean some sort of, kind of big number. I think what's important to distinguish is what do you need to live comfortably? And you need to kind of make this happen. If you want to live a life that gives you that freedom, that gives you that time away with your family, you need to look at that number and what is that number you need to make with your business. And not suddenly go like, I want to make 1 million with my company because that just sounds good. It does not matter how much you're making as long as it's giving you the freedom to be able to do the things you like, to be able to spend time with family, which is what is important to me. So that's true ambition, is defining what you need and making it happen with your business. So it's giving you that freedom to do these things.
I love it. That is a great definition of ambition at this point in life and for all entrepreneurs. So thank you for sharing that. If someone were to ask you, I'm thinking about starting my own business, what advice would you give me for the first couple of years of my new life? What would you say?
Oh boy, oh boy. So many, so many. First of all, I would say start making plans while you are in my case, employment or doing the things that, you might not enjoy doing anymore, but that provides you that comfortable life. So start making those plans there. There's so much things that you can do without, kind of quitting everything. So try to work on that transition plan. Try to start reaching out to people, making a bit of a business plan, working on your offers, maybe making your own website already, setting up the accounting, setting up all these things that are, necessary for the business, but, doesn't need, your whole time. So make those things, straight away. I think also, research is a big part. So research about the business you want to set up. What is the market like? What, is it crowded? Is it not crowded? What's your competition? So all this preparation to your business. So almost like I would write a business plan straight away or some sort of business plan. And also I think mentally be prepared that it's a hard journey. So maybe reach out to other entrepreneurs or friends. What is life like as an entrepreneur or being self-employed? Tell me the things that I should be preparing myself for, and really get to the reality. Nobody is going to get successful day one. It just does not exist. So you need to be prepared for these things and get the feedback from the people around you. And then once you've made the plan, you've done all your research, then go for it. Yeah. If you are really passionate about, going into entrepreneurship and, setting up your own company because you have a vision, you have a mission, you have a purpose, go for it. Don't procrastinate. Don't sort of, oh yeah, maybe next year, maybe next year. So there is a bit of a fine line between you need to prepare, you need to talk to people, you need to do your research, and then actually going for it. So that is my top three advice.
Great advice. It's kind of like that thing where you'll never be completely ready.
No.
Don't expect to be. Just prepare yourself as much as you can and then jump.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly that.
Take that leap. As you consider your experiences in the group, the Ambitious Ladies of London, how
Yes.
has this community impacted your journey so far?
I mean, they've been huge champions and fans of what I'm doing. And I think that's also another thing, maybe as a follow on from the previous question, is start developing those communities and those networks. You don't have to wait until you've got your company to join, those communities, because they're going to be your supporters. They're going to be your colleagues when you don't have a colleague. They're going to be your managers. They're going to be your people that inspire you, support you. And that's what Al, has provided, really. Those social events, the support, the inspiration. There's a lot going on in a network. They've got Monday mentors. They've got a social every month or even every 2 weeks, like a lunch and then a coffee. And these are really important, actually. And you start growing that community. You start to know people, because what I found as well, one of the key growing area in a business is collaboration as well. And so you are going to find new ideas, and you are going to find new collaboration within these networks. And you're going to start thinking about, oh, how could we do something together? I come from this angle, you come from a different angle. Let's try to build something around that. And that's a huge part of, it can be a huge part of your business. So start joining those communities. And yes, and there's a few people that I am very much in touch with in the AL community, that we support each other, we see each other as part of those circles, and we're just there for each other. So yes, it's really, really crucial when you're an entrepreneur to have those communities.
And so if you had met a woman who was considering joining the All Ambitious Ladies of London, you would definitely say, oh, yes, join.
Oh, yes. I mean, and there's so much as well happening that I think you will get so much out of it, between the Monday mentors, the socials, the accountability, the support, the championing. There is some, of course, I would say 100%, 200% join. It's a very nice, open, and inclusive community, which I really, I'm a big supporter of.
It is. And also it's a fun organization. You
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be all businessy, it could be fun, there could be some outings out, you can go dancing, it just becomes part of your life, that community.
Fabulous. Well, Fanny, thank you so much for sharing your story today with us and your wisdom. Your journey reminds us that rising isn't about achievement, quote unquote, but it's about courage, it's about growth, and it's about showing up as our true selves and the power that goes with all that. If you would like to connect with Fanny, you will find some links for her associated with the show notes to this conversation. And I do encourage you to reach out, support her work, and continue this conversation. And for all of you listening, thank you for joining us today. This has been another episode of She Who Rises, where we celebrate the women of the Ambitious Ladies of London community. Those women are leading with wisdom, with heart, and with courage, just as Fanny has shared with us today. And until next time, I encourage you to keep rising, keep shining, and remember that when one woman rises, we all rise together. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.